chillin' out. So I got my dad hat on, yeah. I could be suiting up. So I got my bow tie on, yeah. Dad hats and bow ties. Dad hats and bow. Dad hats and bow ties. Dad hats and bow. I could be suiting up. Young world, what it do? It's your man, Distinguished the God.
Just the kid XAB.
It's your man, D-Flow. I'm filling in for D-Flow. He's doing something on the microphone. So I got my D-Flow voice on. That's D-Flow's voice, ladies and gentlemen. D-Flow Productions. And we are here. Dad Hats and Bow Ties, most dangerous podcast.
What episode are we on?
62. That's what it said.
63.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it's definitely 63. We definitely said 62 last
I
week.
didn't know what was cooking. I was like, yo.
Got caught up in the 1 billion streams, like everybody fucking else.
Yeah, shout out to Summer. We're gonna talk about Summer later.
Summer Walker out here doing.
I think it's a little sketchy, but we're gonna talk about it.
Oh shit!
Oh, you think some farms involved?
Hold the fire.
It has to be, bro. Maybe I'm just the ultimate spectator on the side.
I mean, maybe, but maybe you're onto something. We will find out later on in the show.
We'll see.
Well, we definitely got to talk about Summer breaking up with London for
Wait,
10 minutes.
Wait, what?
First of all, I didn't even know the two of them were dating.
Wait,
Okay, we here already. London on the track.
London on track was dating.
We got London on the track.
Yeah, he was dating Summer Walker.
Him and Summer Walker are dating.
Oh, they dated.
Yeah. And they broke up for like 10 minutes.
They broke up a lot and then they got back together.
Yeah. It was a day. I think it was a day.
It was a day they broke up.
Oh, it was in the same. I don't know.
Wait, what the fuck? What? Wait.
She put up a status talking about I'm single. I always fall for the chauvinistic type. I'm the type of girl that is an alpha female. So I like to do what I say, and I don't want nobody controlling me or whatever that's about. And then literally, I think like a day later, she put up a post of him coming on stage, giving her flowers, surprising her at one of her shows. So they broke up for like a day, maybe.
I don't believe, ever since the Cardi B and Offset situation, I don't believe that niggas is breaking up and that niggas don't know niggas are gonna surprise you at the show. Security gotta know you're in the building and you gotta get clearance to get on the stage.
I mean, security not gonna stop.
They're not gonna stop it.
But
I don't believe the surprise part, nigga. I can't believe that.
Nah, I could believe that. If you in the middle of your set and this nigga is like, yo, I'm gonna pull up. I'm my girl on stage right now. They know that's London.
Yeah, but
they ain't gonna stop the nigga.
But I don't like when chicks do that, bro. I feel there has to be a buffer period. How the fuck we break up tonight and tomorrow you go, I'm single, fuck all these niggas. Like we need a 7-day mutual zone.
First of all, how the fuck
you gotta be a buyback period.
They gotta buyback. You happy, bro.
30 days.
Yeah, and then what X just said that she said, how the fuck you say I'm an alpha female and along the lines of I don't want to feel like I'm being controlled, and then the next day you get with a nigga. Basically what you was trying to set it up for was you was with a control nigga. A nigga that was controlling you. Then the next day you get back with a nigga.
Well, that's my thing.
You guys, chicks gotta really be careful with their wording.
You can't break up with a nigga and bash him.
Bash him.
And then get back 12 hours later. You can go right up.
Yeah.
If you even want to hit towards the break, you could be like, yo, Rocky Patch, I'm single right now. Whatever. If you trying to get them,
want that.
I don't want none of that smoke.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
We gotta be broken up for at least a whole 7 days.
I need a month. I need 1 month.
There we go.
1 month
of official breakup?
Yes, for me to figure it out. Because a week later, I'll be like, I missed the pussy. I'm gonna come back.
Right.
I'm gonna hit you up 2 days later. Yo, babe, I miss you. We gonna get back. But a day later, if we
I'm not used to chicks that break up with niggas for just to get a nigga's attention, because that's what that is.
I'm gonna fight you. Son.
I'm breaking up with you so you could be like, yo, what the fuck? We mad at each other, but we still communicating. Then we get back together 3 days later, a day later. I'm not used to that shit.
How old is Summer Walker?
Summer's 23.
Okay.
Oh,
this is making a lot more sense. Okay.
I don't know how old London is though.
London definitely sounds like he's a young.
London is a good age.
London,
oh yeah.
London been around for a minute.
Yeah, London been around for a minute. London probably in his late 20s, probably like
swerving.
26,
Okay. London's been swerving. All right.
Swerving.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I can't deal with that type of anxiety. When my girl is breaking up with me and I don't know if it's a real breakup.
Next morning, I'm single now. Bitches is lit. I can't do that.
Yeah, that's...
I can't
What?
do that, son. I would hit her every day. What the fuck?
Yeah, we just had an argument. That was
It
it.
ain't even cool down yet.
All we did was have an argument.
I just said fuck you.
Exactly. You
Fuck
talking like you put the tampon and you not in your period. Yeah, I know your cycle. Like, what are you talking about?
Alright.
This nigga took a whole nother. This is why we losing listeners.
Wow!
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm breaking up. I'm breaking up. It's gonna be dad hats now. We're gonna mash out the podcast. Fuck out of here. We're gonna mash out the
They gonna send
podcast.
that Instagram story in the morning.
That's right.
Rocking with
Exactly.
the bow tie.
Don't let me do that.
All
Don't let me do that, nigga. Please.
Wow.
We trying to get mad listeners back the next day.
That's crazy, son. I don't know what happened. Alright, we back on track. That just happened just now.
That's what's up. That part was edited out for a reason.
I guess it was.
Almost slipped up and said the other podcast.
Other podcast.
Real shit.
Move his
Oh
mouth
my
over
god,
there.
real shit.
My hand calmly put that over there, you know.
But we didn't even get to an all man moment. Before we start,
That
I want
was
to
the
give
all man moment.
a special shout out to my goddaughter whose birthday was yesterday. And so happy birthday, Liliana. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna get her. So
she's right there.
I already know you got mad stuff.
She's there. She's there. That's all I'm gonna say. She's there.
So
she's a mini tyrant, man. That's all I'm gonna say on that. That's my daughter, though. I love her to that.
You said that's the all man for you.
Nigga, that has to be. I don't even
Jump
want
right
to
into
do
shit.
it. I don't want to do a personal all man. That is the all man. Cause bitches think they can keep doing that and niggas.
I got an all man though.
Yeah, like
Once in a while I got an all man. So yes, the fucking day of my daughter's birthday.
yeah.
Take Lily to the fucking IHOP. So we go to IHOP.
Which IHOP you went to? The one right there by
The one on Liberty.
Yeah.
So we
That shit
went there.
always
That
packed.
shit
Oh my
always packed for
fucking
no
God.
reason, son. It's always packed for no reason.
Service.
This nigga's upset already.
No reason why it's so
And
packed.
the service be shitty.
That's not the reason why I'm tight.
Okay.
I'm about to get to the reason why I'm
Alright,
tight.
but the service was shitty
The
though.
service was trash.
Ah, nigga.
It was trash. It took us 47 minutes to get our food.
no.
Anyway, so we pull up there, we park in the CVS, go over to the IHOP, go eat, come back. My car is gone. Niggas towed my car out the CVS, bro.
Wait.
Out the CVS
Niggas
parking
is
lot.
doing that.
Yo.
I didn't know that shit was being
Bro,
That's a real
CVS is right there.
right there, bro.
Yo, bro,
Right
bro.
there.
We know that,
That's
bro.
a real thing. Niggas really be watching
Nigga
it.
towed my joint,
Bro,
boy.
the CVS is literally 0.1 mile across the fucking
I
street.
don't care how far it is. The fact that niggas is towing out of the parking lot.
Out of the parking lot, bro.
My whole day
a
fucked.
$1.36 to get the shit out. And then I called the joint up. So I'm like, I know I'm parked where my car is. So I'm looking, and I'm like, where the fuck is my joint? Huh? The guy was like, yeah. I was like, did you guys tow my car? He said, what's your car? I'm like, it's the van. And he was just like, yeah, we got your joint. I'm like, nigga.
And the shit was right there, right?
Why did y'all tow my joint? Can't park in the CVS and leave the compound. I'm like, I want to cross the street. He's like, doesn't matter if you leave in 30 seconds.
Oh.
Bro, I went there, son. There was 72 cars in there, bro. There was a line outside, son.
Yo, these niggas was racking
These
up.
niggas was hustling, boy.
Them niggas was counting.
I'm
72.
fast up, boy. I'm fast up, boy. I'm tight up there. I beat another Indian nigga. We fast up. He more fast up than me. Nigga was mad. He's like, I went right across to the garbage stop to come back. No car. I was just like, that's the worst Indian accent I've heard in a while. But you're right. You're right.
That's wild.
$1.36 and they take cash.
Only
cash.
Oh yeah, bro. I ain't even gonna say
Nah,
that. I probably know the toll company that the shit was right there.
I
The
would
joint was around the corner.
Yeah,
bro.
that's the shit that I had the issue with the fucking Maxima, nigga.
I've been flipping shit up.
Niggas take and then the police precinct is across.
Right across
You gotta,
the
yeah, you gotta hold it down over there.
Yeah. Bro, there's a private
yeah.
police officer right
Police
there.
officer right
I
there.
was unsure. I think
Yeah.
he was trying to clock niggas.
Yeah.
I wasn't
You
sure.
can't turn up, bro. Them niggas work together. That's another
Yo,
story. Them niggas
that's
work
my-
together.
that's
That
all
shit
man
sounds
moment.
suspect.
I was there, so I was fed
They was
up.
watching you, bro. They had to know, bro.
Someone
That has to be
Somebody
a
was
nigga.
somebody in the CVS or somebody who was probably in the parking lot.
Yeah, there's gotta be a
Yeah.
nigga there to just look. All right, yo, they left the compound.
That's it.
And let's get the shit
clean.
So I was fat, a bunch of white boys, son.
Yeah.
Bunch of white boys. Not one black man in there.
Nah, them niggas.
They had no remorse too, son. They were like 136. I was like, y'all serious? I was like,
cash.
And I pulled out my debit card, and then he's like, nah, cash. There's an ATM right there.
Oh shit.
The extra hustle.
And they probably fucking own the ATM right there.
Nah, I have TV, so I went right to the TV right there.
Oh, you went to the TV? Okay.
Nah, but they probably have a partnership with whatever ATM.
They got a partnership with the CVS.
They got a partnership with the CVS.
Sure.
They got a partnership with the probably
IHOP too.
Come on,
someone is hired. I mean, definitely the Soul Company is hired by the CVS, and I mean that's a guarantee.
They were out there hustling and bustling, boy.
But I mean, nigga, you said 70-something cars, nigga. That's a long day for them niggas.
It wasn't literally 70-something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it was a calm 50 cars.
It was a car. Yeah,
It was a lot. It was a full.
And your shit was in there.
And there was at least 8, 9 niggas in front of me waiting in line to go pay for this shit.
I mean, shit. That reminds me of earlier this week. I went to the fucking DMV. I went to the Atlantic Terminal one.
Oh yeah,
I got my inspection too, boy. I couldn't deal with it though. I got it done,
bro. So I go to the DMV. I thought I was doing some shit. I'm like, I'm about to get there 8:30 when the joint opened up. I thought I was doing something. So I get there 8:30. I look at this line, and it's like not that bad. It's still out the door, so I'm like, alright.
It's not that bad, but it's still out the door.
How you say not that bad, but it's out the door?
It was out the door, but it wasn't terrible.
Niggas was going to the DMV club.
I was like, alright, cool.
Now. Okay,
whatever, I'll be here for a little bit.
Popping license.
Nigga was like, nah, you just got here. The line is over there. I turned back, boy. The shit was fucking down this hall, bro. Nothing but niggas, bro. So I was like, oh, nah. I was like, yo, I'm about to go home, boy. Get on the line. It moves. I was like, all right, cool. Then you get there, so they give you a number. And my number was like 915. And it was at 860 or some shit. So I'm tight. So I'm like, yo, I'll be here for me. So the shit goes really quickly. It gets to 9:15, maybe in like 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, oh, not bad. Get up there. Now I'm cheesing because I'm about to be out this bitch. They're like, all right, stand up against the wall, take a picture. You can smile if you want. So I crack a little smile, get my picture taken. So he's like, all right, go sit back down. Wait, what, nigga? Sit back down? No, nigga, we gotta do this whole process. Right? No, 7-step process, bro. And then wait for your number to be called again. I was like, wait, what?
Shit.
Wait for it to be called again.
Oh, shit.
So the recall, they was at like 882. My nigga, we was at 880. We was in the 880s for at least an hour, my nigga, before they finally called me again to get my shit done. And there was this one chick just sitting at the fucking counter. I don't know, she didn't have a debit card, she didn't have a paperwork. She was there for a calm 40 minutes, bro.
Dad had Simbo. Dad had Simbo ties. Dad had Simbo. I could be suing up.
Like, yo, my nigga, I gots to go. Do not want to be here.
It's the worst, bro.
Yeah, DMV is the worst.
And you can't get to nobody.
Nah.
I was 15 presses in, bro. Press 1, press 6. I was like, yo, this is mad.
They don't answer the phone.
You can't get to nobody, bro. You said representative, the joint don't even respond to you, son.
Yeah, they be like, hang up for you.
That shit would hang up.
They be like, call option again.
Press 2. Press 3.
Yo.
I'm like, yo, I'm 11 numbers.
Yeah, I dialed a whole nother number.
This is somebody's real number that I just dialed.
They don't, you gotta go in, so you go in. It's an all-day process.
You have to go in. Damn, that's, y'all niggas all mans is crazy.
Yeah, wow. Yesterday, I mean, I didn't want to get upset because I'm like, damn, I don't want to ruin my daughter's birthday.
Yeah, everybody would sense your energy too.
Yeah, so I got tight initially, and I was just like, all right, fuck,
just letting it rock.
At least it was around the corner.
At least it was
around the corner, son.
I said the same shit. I was like,
because if that shit was in another borough,
or you had to travel to the yard.
Down
here.
Yeah, here. Oh, boy.
Nah, I had to pay an Uber.
You have really been tight.
Yeah, the van was around the corner. It took me the whole process to get back to the car was like 30 minutes.
I was about to say a calm 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Good thing that you with TD.
Yeah.
Because then you would have had to go to the ATM, incur the ATM fee. You'd have been like,
which would have they probably had a wild wacky fee.
Wow, for $3.
$3 and off. Starting $3.
Shit.
It's $3 plus whatever the ATM charges you.
Oh yeah,
Which is an extra $5 for your bank.
So now it's $8.
It is what it is, man. Like
Well,
I was tight initially, but
I'm glad everything worked out. I'm glad you still had an amazing birthday with your,
it was great,
with your
man.
little girl, and everybody was happy in the end. It was a good
overall
result.
it was a good day for sure.
Fuck them niggas though, man.
So yesterday I went to see Andrea and Brittany. Shout out to Andrea. She was on Wu-Tang, the series on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
So they had the finale yesterday.
The Wu-Tang finale?
Yeah. For the season finale.
Season finale.
That's 10 episodes gone already, huh?
Yeah.
That's
That's just episode 9? I watched it last night too.
No, I was trying to tell somebody that Hulu is just like Netflix. They'll do that, like how our friend Mia is doing a power party this weekend. Actually, she's actually doing it the same day they're doing Powerhouse, and she's doing I guess an episode reveal. So 9, we're gonna be watching 9. But she want people to watch 9 with her live, so it's one of those situations. Because all the episodes for Wu-Tang is already on Hulu. It's already there.
No,
it's not.
They're weekly.
They're weekly.
Which I prefer. Me personally, I think Netflix should start doing the same thing.
Netflix is looking into doing it.
They are.
I think it's worth it though, because sometimes you get a show, bro, and we binge watch the shit out of it, 10 episodes, and you're done for a whole year. You feel me? I think it's better. I don't mind watching a show every week.
Right? I'm up and down about it, bro.
Yeah,
I like to take a weekend because I feel like I'm so busy. That weekly thing doesn't work for me anymore. Like I agree with what you're saying too. But for me personally, I like the idea of being able to. This is the weekend where I get to chill. Alright, let me throw on this series and watch a season.
Let's watch a whole season
through this weekend and be good. Like have that ability to do that, which I guess is still the case with Hulu. Once the season is over, it's still up there. The week to week, like it throws me off because once I miss an episode, I'm like, fuck it, I'll just wait until later to watch the whole.
I think it depends over Netflix because Netflix, for example, I'm heavy into Top Boy, and even though I've seen all their shit from even 2011, which I didn't even know, Drake. The reason why I'm even watching it is because Drake signed on as one of the executive producers for this year's season. So I already saw everything from 2011 when he wasn't a part of the shit up until now. They have nothing else going on, but they will be shooting that shit again in the winter. So I like when they have some of the shows that they pre-shoot all the episodes and then you can just watch it straight through. But then I agree with X. Sometimes that weekly shit really don't work because you may miss your shit. Like right now, there's a show that's on Netflix and the brand new season is on Pix 11, which is All American. I love that fucking show. All American is a good fucking show. First season had me open. I was like, oh yeah, I need to, but I'm not watching it right now on Pix because I don't be home. I'm busy like my nigga X. But when the episode is done now and it ends up on fucking Netflix, nigga, guess who binge watching All American season 2? This nigga.
Yeah. I mean, but I agree, Flo. It feels it's better for the company for sure because if you stream the whole season in a week, you know, they only get that initial money.
What if that's the only show on Netflix to watch right now? You feel me? I feel like what happens is we binge watch all these shows. I guess they do it that way because they want you to go and move on to another show. But for me, sometimes there's a good 5 or 6 shows, or maybe there might be 10 shows that you're watching, and you just gotta wait till these joints drop. Meanwhile, if they were streaming every week, you might have on a good weekend too. You might have 5 of your shows on, and you can just watch them.
Well, I think that's the gamble because with these like independent Netflix shows or Hulu shows, there's no guarantee that they're gonna be good enough to catch your attention that you're gonna want to watch 5 Netflix shows.
That's a fact.
Like at any given time, there's only maybe 1 or 2 Netflix shows that I'm super interested in that dropped that one time.
That's true.
Stranger Things is on. That's about it. When Marvel was dropping their shit, that was about it. When I watched Sherlock, Black Mirror. That's about it. None of them shits are coinciding with one another. They're all spread through the year.
You're watching mad shows.
Yeah, you're watching. I'm not watching as much shows. I'm gonna
try Top Boy.
Right.
I did 13 Reasons.
You never got into Narcos?
Oh, Narcos. The first fucking season? Oh my god.
I know it's lit, but I ain't
You see Ozark either?
Never got into Ozark either.
Wow.
I heard Ozark is
I
fire
haven't
too.
gotten into Ozark either, to be honest.
But even so, like I wouldn't watch all of those at the same time. I would stay on
That's
Ozark.
overload,
Yeah, you binge watch out Ozark and then go to Narcos. Is 3 or 4 seasons deep right now.
Yeah, they are.
But it don't matter because it sounds like they're trying to go that way anyway. Netflix said that I think they're gonna stop making things bingeable when the season first comes out. So
Hey, it is what it is. I mean, that ain't stopping us from watching it.
I don't mind watching it.
I still want to catch up to shit.
I look forward to Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights, I know I know Wu-Tang's coming on.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if I don't catch it Wednesday because I can always watch
go
it
back
the
to
weekend.
it, yeah.
You feel me? So like a couple past Wednesdays I've been busy. I watched it this past Saturday. I caught up on 2 episodes. Then last night I was home. I watched.
Nah, that should be annoying when it's a crazy ass cliffhanger.
I mean, nigga, I'm still tight about this power shit. That episode was wild the week before last.
Y'all talked about Power being joint. Why we didn't watch it this weekend?
Nah.
Now what happened this week? It wasn't on this week.
It wasn't on this weekend.
But they said it's being dropped from Xfinity and Comcast.
Really?
Wait, what?
Yeah, the Stars itself.
Oh shit.
Stars itself is being dropped apparently by Xfinity and Comcast.
I was confused, bro, because I was like, they said that this week was supposed to be an episode.
Yeah.
I remember them saying that distinctly next week on Power or whatever, and then nothing came on.
So, is there an episode that dropping this weekend?
Yeah. I mean, the Stars are Stars. Like,
Right.
It's still going to be a show.
Right.
It's just that particular cable provider won't have Stars anymore.
So I guess they were negotiating up until the last minute,
Probably.
and it didn't go through. So
What
they didn't
exactly?
drop it out, the episode.
Why? Like, why is that? Do we have intricate details? Why?
Money.
Probably money, bro. Probably just it's not that audience isn't watching it enough.
Nah, typically that's it. Those situations are always about a renegotiation of a contract, and someone's asking for more money than the other is willing to do.
Possibly. I mean,
And so no, it's no positive. This has happened before.
Yeah.
This has not just with Stars, but
I think HBO went through it one time too with Time Warner.
yeah.
Oh.
Typically this is how it goes, and then it's like you'll start seeing commercials where it'll be like, we want to continue to provide Stars, but they're asking for da 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 da,
Right.
and we don't think that that's fair to the customers because that means your price will go up. And then Stars will have a commercial or a statement come out that'll be like, in order to provide da 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 da, we are asking for this price, but this provider, although they have the money, doesn't want to do it, and therefore you will no longer get our services. Yeah. So write them now. This happened a couple of years ago.
It happened with Showtime. It happened with HBO.
Yeah.
It happened with a few different major companies, but that's the reality of it. And I think a lot of times it's just simply the company Stars wants more because they have a #1 hit show.
Yeah, that's the show that's keeping that entire network alive.
They might be like, yo, niggas ain't watching your joint in these neighborhoods, boy.
Possibly.
You feel me? A good chunk of our audience doesn't watch Stars. Or
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the other thing I was going to say, too, is that a lot of these companies, to be honest, we already know that we're going into this space where we're in an app world. The reality is a lot of these stations ain't going to survive if 100 stations think that the average consumer is going to subscribe $10 or $20 a month to every single, they're out of their mind. Some of these stations,
people doing it, bro.
People doing it, but realistically, the regular person that's working, busting their ass for their check is not subscribed. I'm not subscribed. I'm only literally subscribed to like 2 subscriptions. Amazon Prime, Netflix. I'm good off everything else.
So it's funny you said that because my homeboy was telling me about this new service where basically you pay $25 a month and you get access to all the different gyms that are out there. So you'll get access. You'll be able to sign up to Planet Fitness. And if you don't like Planet for a while, you could then go and sign up for Blink. And then if you don't like Blink, you can go back to Planet, or you could go to Retro or something like that.
Oh, shit.
And so all of those chain gyms are under this one umbrella. You pay $25 to it, and then you can sign up at any one of those gyms instead of it being like when you sign up for Planet, and then you want to end with that, I think it's like $100 fee or whatever. So basically, you could gym hop to some extent.
I ended a fee with Planet. I never paid $100. I paid something though, but I ain't paying.
They were telling my mom that she had to pay $100 if she wanted to get out the car. I don't know.
I had to pay $120 to Blink when I canceled Blink a few years ago.
But how much was you paying monthly?
It was $20 a month.
Oh nah, that 120 had to have been in the contract somewhere.
Yeah, niggas just didn't read it, to be honest.
Yeah, they do that though, cause they don't want you to cancel.
Yeah, well fuck y'all niggas.
Yeah. So, but my point was, I think, which is ironic because it's already existing, but I think we're just gonna go right back to cable in the sense of there's gonna be one company that is gonna incur a giant fee and let you have access to all these fucking channels. That's probably that, or all these apps.
Right.
It's gonna be one that's gonna be like, yo, you pay us $30 a month, $40 a month. You got Disney Plus, you got Hulu, you got this, you got that. It's coming.
But
it's
bro,
coming.
that makes sense.
Give it another 2 years, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a company.
Because bro, like, listen, man, I'm speaking for the poor niggas right now. You not gonna tell me that we got all of these fucking shows, Spike TV, you know what I mean, or like all these stations. And they're connected to this big cable company, and you mean to tell me that if that cable company is like fuck Stars, fuck Raw, fuck SmackDown, or you know all these other that we gonna pay now subscriptions to individually watch that? You wildin'.
I mean, I think it's funny because I think what's gonna happen is that it's gonna go down that route. Because even for me,
it's definitely going down.
I got Hulu, I got Netflix, I got Funimation, I got fucking Stars right now. I had HBO for a little bit.
You killing me right now.
Yeah, I have at least a good 6 of them.
Yeah,
I have Disney. Tiffany's trying to get me to get Disney right now.
Oh,
plus, I got Roku TV.
Oh yeah, Roku's another. Yeah, I got Roku TV.
You feel me? So, and I got Amazon Prime.
Oh.
So at the end of the day, that's a good $70 a month just in apps.
Right.
So at the end of the day, some nigga comes to me and be like, yo, give me $50 right now. And you could download 10 of your favorite apps.
You probably gonna do it.
Any 10 you want. Hell the fucking yeah, I'm
yeah,
doing it.
hell yeah.
This is just some good math. You feel me?
Yeah, nigga. We saving 20, nigga. I know math, nigga.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Like, listen, I'm gonna do it.
But that's exactly one of these companies.
Yeah, X is right.
Whether it's gonna be cable to jump on in and be like, alright, this cable shit is dead.
Yeah.
We're gonna now circumvent these apps and do like app packages, or a new tech company gonna come along. Cause us niggas, we ain't gonna be able to do it yet. Somebody gonna steal this idea off this episode.
That's a fact.
I mean, Spectrum does something similar. Right
Spectrum definitely has something similar.
Spectrum
That's true.
for $100 a month with your internet package. You can pick certain channels and you can circle through them. I think you can't have more than like 20 channels at a time, but you can pick 20 channels that you want to watch, and then you can always flip between them.
Do they have channels that they're throwing in for
Wait, channels or apps?
It's like it's the app version of the channel.
Okay.
So CNN.
So if you want CNN, you get the CNN version of that.
But it will be an app form.
Well, it will be an app
So
form because it's based on your phone and your tablet.
So you'll be getting whatever you would get to the phone plus whatever's really on CNN. Oh shit.
But yeah, definitely bundling these apps is the next. It's gonna be the next wave.
It's gonna be the next wave. If it's not already being discussed.
Yeah.
It probably is, but like he said, somebody probably.
It's coming out.
Probably,
As soon as Disney officially launches in December.
Yeah.
You'll probably hear about it 2020, 2021.
Speaking about Disney, Apple, there's a big ass bulletin in the city. Apple TV is dropping, I guess, some new shit on November 11th. There's a big ad. It says Apple TV is coming, and then it has the Apple. Then it says Apple TV Plus, and then it has somebody's eyes, and it's like Apple TV, and then it says.
Apple TV Plus is another subscription.
Yeah. Okay. That's
gonna be like Roku TV.
That's gonna be fire though. The way they rolling it out, it's gonna be fire. And we already got products.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I mean, speaking of Apple, we want to talk about how the fucking government is definitely trying to take down Facebook right now.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Mark Zuckerberg's under attack.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I get what they're trying to do with the regulation in terms of people not being able to say and do whatever on these like platforms, but that's the point of the platform. So it's up and down, because their fight right now with Facebook is basically, oh, y'all niggas is just letting people say whatever and put any type of political lie up there. So that's causing issues because people are going there and they get 50%. Apparently the statistic is 50% of America gets their news from Facebook.
I could definitely believe that.
So people are going on Facebook, using it to get news, and because the news is false, because people are putting up false ads and stuff, they're becoming issues with, I guess the elections, and can bots influence the election, and can people just put certain things up there and influence and say things about candidates that aren't true, and people believe it. So that's what the government is saying, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
I was watching a press conference with Mark Zuckerberg.
I think it's always been that way.
A few weeks ago, he was mad because he was saying that people are basically saying that he's allowing people to go on, like they were talking about the video privacy shit, which they're strict about these days, especially with niggas' music in the back. They'll take your shit down in a heartbeat. He was basically saying that niggas was blaming him because, so he went to a university and he basically told them, I know students want to ask me questions, I'm only limiting this to 3 questions. He only chose 3 questions out of the whole fucking interview. And he was like, the interview was only be able to be streamed from Facebook. No news broadcast, none of that. And niggas was getting tight because he was like, yo, niggas be putting up videos and niggas getting fucked up, raped, and he was like, yo, we're doing our best. He was like, yo, like I employ mad people. What the fuck you really want me to do? I'm employing them to do that job. And I think that another part why Facebook is under attack because right now Twitter got the green light with this Hong Kong shit. NBA just jumped in that shit. Fucking Kyrie Irving just made a political statement a few days ago. Like, nigga, are we paying attention to what the fuck is going on? Look what's happening in Syria. Nigga, if we don't have a platform other than the news to find this shit out, nigga, if they shut down Facebook, what you think the news gonna tell niggas?
But you know what?
What are you talking about?
They trying to monopolize the way we get our information.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the problem is. You can't tell us where to get our information from. Because at the end of the day, all that's telling us is that the government wants to control the narrative.
And we don't have freedom of speech.
So at the end of the day, if you're going to be upset because people are allowed to make their own narratives, and you're upset because we don't want to follow your narrative, then doesn't that feed into the conspiracy of the government control?
I don't think that's the government's goal, well, on face value, but I think that's the fear in which why Facebook doesn't want them to start giving out regulations to it. So basically, they want to regulate Facebook as if they regulate newspapers and TV. So if something is proven to be false in a newspaper or on TV, you're at liberty to be sued. So, like slander or anything like that. So for instance, if what was happening with the Russian bots last election was to be printed in a newspaper, Hillary would be at liberty to sue the newspaper, or we as citizens could also sue the newspaper for false information or things like that. With Facebook, you can't sue anybody. Right. So someone can put something false up, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what the government is saying is the issue is like, yo, y'all allowing people to just put any form of misinformation up there, and because people are willing to believe it, there has to be some new form of regulation. And because it keeps happening, the government is using those little tidbits to be like, nah, y'all do need regulation. Y'all do need to have us come in and do this, that, and the third. I'm not comfortable with it.
I'm on Facebook once that happens.
I mean, I'm not comfortable with it because it's Facebook.
My thoughts. I don't like that.
I'm out of here, yeah.
You're censoring my ability to post what I want to post, and that's the whole point of it.
They're only doing it with political ads, though. They're not saying everybody's post.
So
yeah,
at the end of the day, if I can't say something, or you're upset because I could go and post something about how I feel about Donald Trump.
No, they're upset because you can go and run an ad about Donald Trump that's fake, and then Facebook still takes the money from it, but knows the ad is fake.
That I could agree with. If you want to go based on what paid ads, if you want to regulate paid ads, that's a different.
That's different from
because you can't put up because a paid ad is the same thing as a newspaper or a news or a broadcasting, because you're paying this company to market something that's going to cause slander.
And that's why I'm like up and down about it, because I get the government's point, but I feel like they may use that to then say, oh, dad hats and bow ties, you guys are accurate 90% of the time about the news that y'all talk about, but you know what? We know that y'all say things that y'all are a little wrong about too, so we gotta censor what y'all saying.
Exactly.
We gotta stop it.
I was just about to say the same shit he said. I was like, yo, sooner or later, they gonna start targeting shit like this. Niggas getting their information from us too.
Podcast is gonna get targeted sooner.
Yeah, niggas is gonna target us soon. Yeah, nigga, this is the freest speech ever, bro.
Nah, podcasting is gonna get regulated by next year.
This speech
is
is
because
crazy.
podcasting is moving into its own genre almost. So it's gonna be something where it's like it's compatible with radio already. Because certain podcasts get as much views and listens as major radio stations. So it's going to get to a point where there's going to be regulations against certain podcasts. Not certain, but in the podcasting world.
Right.
They're not going to stop the cursing and whatnot, but they're going to censor what we speak about.
Yeah, because there are podcast genres, and since getting into this world, thank you XAB, nigga, I be listening to certain podcasts where there's podcasts that just strictly talk about certain, like, there's podcasts that are not like us, like, we talk about a combination of things. There's podcasts that strictly focus on shit that's happening in NASA. Ever since we started talking about the Earth and shit recently on the podcast, like, in much greater detail, I be listening to podcasts that just focus on global warming. Mm-hmm. These niggas is saying some shit about the government, bro. And I'm like, I know niggas is coming for them. Mm-hmm. Niggas be having economists, doctors, lawyers. I'm like, well, shit hit the fan, nigga. We gonna have, God forbid, podcast niggas getting locked up.
I mean,
what's gonna happen?
It's a potential, but it'll be hard because you definitely infringe on freedom of speech once you go down that route. They're saying with Facebook, again, like the paid ads is a different realm. Mm-hmm. But I think what Facebook is afraid of is we let y'all do this, then y'all gonna find a way.
Ain't no telling to take over Facebook.
Right,
you opening the floodgates.
Yeah. They're giving them permission.
Yeah.
And I think it's a rabbit hole. I think they don't want to. That contract is drafted up. There's going to be too much terms and definitions and
too many ways for the government to find other avenues to stop other shit.
That's
exactly.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg, we with you. You our age, nigga. We with you, nigga. Hopefully
Facts.
you work it out with your team. That ass.
So let's just get into this tank shit because I already know. I already know you've been waiting for this shit. So
I'm just listening.
Niggas started canceling Tank apparently because he was on Lip Service, which is a podcast.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And on it, he was asked a question.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The question was, I think it started off of, is a nigga a liar? I think this is it, but is a nigga a liar if he lied before or something like that? Or if he lies?
Okay.
And then Tank said something to the effect of, well, I mean, if a nigga lies once or twice, does that really make him a liar?
Okay.
So I guess, I think that was what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who, is listening. But that then turned into, I think the girls were trying to get him. So they were like, well, if a nigga who sucks dick once or twice, does that make him gay? And Tank was like, no, I don't think that makes him gay.
I definitely agree. Fuck that.
I agree too.
I definitely agree.
I agree. I agree. It does not make him gay.
Right.
However,
hold on. I can't let that happen.
I don't give a fuck. We gonna talk about it. Nigga, you talking to Mr. Reddick. What's up?
Wait, hold the fuck up. Stop. Stop it really quick. You telling me if
I got a crazy rebuttal, so I'm dying to hear.
I'm waiting to hear your rebuttal.
Yeah, you will hear it, my nigga.
So if you suck dick once or twice, you're not gay.
No.
So
no.
I would not consider him gay.
No.
Sucking dick.
No.
Let's just clarify.
No.
I would not consider
I
him
would not consider bro.
No.
No, bro.
No.
My nigga.
No.
I would
not. No. 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 No.
Why would you do that?
No. Nigga, this is a dick right now. No. No.
I wouldn't consider him gay. No, I wouldn't consider a dude gay if he did that once or twice.
We talking about distinguished now. He asked me the direct question, so you wouldn't think I'm gay. I'm cool with that, even if you thought I was.
Now, here's
listen.
I have two things that I want to say.
Yeah, let X say, 'cause I got a rebuttal for your ass, nigga.
The first.
I want a rebuttal for my ass, bro. Game straight.
But the first. The first thing I want to say is, fuck, I don't even know what the fuck I want to say no more. I mean, no, technically the nigga would not be gay. The nigga would be exploratory of different things.
Bro, exploring is me going in the room with this nigga and being like, yeah, I think I'm gonna pass. That's exploring.
No, that ain't no exploring.
That's exploring. Butt plug is exploring.
It's not exploring.
Me getting on my knees and watching you come with your meat, and I go like this, taste it, I'm like, I think I like this. I'm gonna try it one more time, because I wasn't sure the first time. That shit hit the back of my throat the first time. I'm not sure. I tasted the saltiness.
Some niggas but niggas do that in life though. Niggas will be like, yo, I think I might like this cake. And then they taste it and then be like, it was on the borderline. And they taste it again and they're like, nah. Bro, it's a decision.
It's definitely a decision. It's a decision.
Life is different.
I don't know how we get to a point where a nigga opinion is literally in the threshold between cancellation or we gonna let it rock. How the fuck we get there? Yo, society be blowing my shit, bro. Not even be blowing my dick. They just be blowing.
But so okay, when a female
fuck another female for the first time, and then she do it again because she don't really know if she like it or not, and then she says, you know what, I'm good off that. Does that mean she's lesbo now?
Yeah.
Nah, nigga, nah, Flo.
Then 90% of the women out here are lesbians.
Then 90% of the women that we married, that we said we wanna probably done fucked a few bitches and didn't say shit.
There's mad girls that tasted vagina.
Right,
bro.
and deep down inside, they telling themselves they not gay.
Cause they not gay.
They not, and they married.
That's why
and they living life.
But that's why the sexuality conversation gets so convoluted.
Mm-hmm.
Is because
it's double-sided.
The act of sex is the act of sex is alone the act of sex. So a lot of people are more exploratory than I am. Mm-hmm. I know that, and they look at certain things, and it's like, to me, I look at it like when a nigga is like, yo, I gotta go do this, and I hear what they say they want to do, and I'm like, I'm not doing. Why do you have to do that to know that's a bad idea? Mm. Or listen, whatever you do is your. But for me, I'm just using an example. So it's like if you come to me and I'm like, I don't need to put my hand on the stove to know the stove is hot. Somebody told me it's hot. Hey,
but see, that's different. You see, that's what I'm trying to get to. If the stove is hot and you put your hand over it and you're like, this is warm. If I go any lower, it's going to get hotter.
That ain't some people up.
No, at that point, there's something wrong in your brain.
Nah, because there's niggas that you tell, yo, don't do crack. It's going to fuck you up. Yeah, and they still gonna do a lot of crack.
Mental disorder, my nigga.
Not everybody
I'm not
do
going to do crack for the first time, and it fucks me up. I get super fucked up, and I'm like, I'm gonna try.
But that's not everybody's experience. We still tell people, yo,
but
don't.
That's what I'm saying.
But we still tell people, yo, don't do this drug. Mm-hmm. This drug, you could have a decent experience, or you can go haywire. And niggas still say, okay, and still try the drug. And then that doesn't mean their experience might be okay. And then they try it again, and then it's like, nah, I really don't fuck with that drug. Like I don't want to do that.
That's what I'm saying. At that point,
but that doesn't mean there's something wrong with them.
You're not a crackhead if you try it once and you're like, I got fucked up. And then someone else came and tell you, nah, that supplier you got it from that time was fucked up, my nigga. Try my guy over here. And you're like, I'm insistent on trying this crack. I'm gonna try this crack again. And you try to crack the second time, and it's still shitty. And you're like, I'm all right, I'm done.
But that can happen in sex too, though.
I'm not saying it can't happen, my nigga. I'm just saying it's questionable. That's the nigga who tried to crack was questionable.
I don't know if it's questionable or if that nigga is just more exploratory than I am.
Maybe that's it. And I take responsibility and say that nigga is hella more. That nigga's already exploring.
And you more
Tank's interview really does bring up a bigger issue though. We're really unbalanced when it comes to this conversation, and we're in fucking 2019. I'm in a play right now. And the research that we were doing on the ancient Egyptians having sex with each other, bro, nigga, that shit was basically the first form of what we consider now modern day porn. So I'm looking at that happened before Christ up until now. It's like how we still not comfortable about having certain conversations, especially when I feel like every single time. This is why I can't wait for Ready Way. this is why every time we have conversations about sex, it always feels like it's always double-sided, because if a woman does some shit, automatically by default, because she's a woman, it wouldn't necessarily be considered questionable or gay, or she just out there having fun. Versus a nigga, it's always like, damn, well, nigga, we predominantly known you as being a straight man, so for you to say a comment like that, now we gotta question you, question your whole sexuality, now we gotta question if we really fucking with you or not.
Well, you know what I
So
think
Tank album coming out, nigga he probably fucking lost fans.
He might have lost some sales.
He probably lost some sales, but you know what? That nigga is comfortable in his skin. He don't give a fuck.
Well, you know, I mean, there's two things working
That's
against.
the reality.
There's two things working against Tank in that particular thing. You are this hypersexualized sex symbol for women.
Right.
So for that, you have to be the pinnacle of masculinity, which for a lot of women he is. He's Diesel. He's this. He's talking about sex freely. But now they're looking at it like, well, Tank, would you get on your knees and suck a dick? So now
was that the question that was asked?
No, but that's what I think people's minds. That's where they're going.
Tank probably would have said no, but Tank is speaking for the nigga that's really on some bi-curious or whatever they would.
Well, Tank is just saying.
Shit.
I mean, Tank is saying what is really the reality.
That is the reality.
Regardless of our opinions, when you're just talking about sexual acts, that's a whole separate thing than what you identify as or what you are attracted to.
Right.
So a nigga could not be attracted to a man. I'm not saying it's me, and I'm not saying I fully understand it.
Right.
But I can see a scenario where a nigga's is not attracted to men like that, but is like, yo, I want to know what it is to suck a dick.
Right.
And decide to do it.
Right.
And be like, nah, that shit ain't for me. Like I'm swissy pussy.
I would still be tight if my wife told me she ate pussy and was like, I didn't like it. I'm gonna be like, since when?
I definitely wouldn't be tight on my wife. I'd be like, that shit was before me, and you're my wife now, so we good off that.
I've had multiple conversations like that. I've seen girls have told me, I used to deal with a girl, now I deal. Like, so
I'm not comfortable enough with that. Now, I respect it. But I couldn't have my wife tell me she was in a full-blown relationship with another woman and still be cool with that fact.
Well, bringing it back to context, Tank didn't say, the question wasn't posed on some relationship shit. They asked him that one question. So bringing it back to her now, if she was to say, I wasn't in a relationship, D-Flow, however, I did once or twice, did some shit with a woman, you still gonna be tight? She was not in a relationship with her.
If she told me she liked it, yeah.
That's different. That's also different too.
That's for you to figure out then.
That's not for me to figure out, it's just a reality. Because that's threatening what that comfort zone is for me. So you can't be like, that's for me, it's my comfort zone.
No.
So you can't be upset based on what my comfort zone is.
No, what I'm saying is that's on you, because women are gonna hear this shit and they're gonna say, you're insecure.
It's not a matter of being insecure.
That's what they're gonna say though.
Insecurity is saying I don't trust my wife around other women. It's me saying that's a comfort zone, knowing that there's a possibility that she could always go back to that.
Nah.
Dick is dick, my nigga. Dick is dick. She always gonna find another nigga to fuck with.
Yeah, I hear you.
You feel me?
My nigga, comfort zone sounds like that sounds like a buffer right now, my nigga. That's what it sounds like to me. Because basically what you're saying is that you would feel uncomfortable in your own skin because your wife said some shit that did not necessarily have anything to do with you. Y'all married now. Y'all got kids. So why the fuck would you not feel like why would you feel like your comfort zone is now shifted a little bit?
My comfort zone is shifted because I know that there's always gonna be a possibility.
But why do you think it's always gonna be a possibility? What if
It's the fucking reality, bro.
But not necessarily.
But my nigga, if she liked it, she liked it.
Because they're like,
it don't mean she going back to
going
it.
back to the drug example. They're niggas that try crack and will never try it ever again.
Yeah, but if I came here and be like, yo, last night I tried crack and I kind of liked it. What is your opinion of me now?
That you might have liked it, but we're talking about a scenario. I'm sticking to what the conversation Tank had was when a dude did it twice and then realized he didn't like it. In terms of a situation where a girl may have liked it, I don't know, because there are a lot of different factors that can go into a person deciding to try out a different sexuality and then being like, you know what, I'm really straight. And there's a lot of girls that I know personally that have said that. That have been with a girl, been in a relationship with a girl, but they still identify as straight.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it. I'm not saying I don't respect
No,
it.
I know.
I'm talking for me personally. At the end of the day, I have to respect it. At the end of the day, that's your choice. You do what makes you comfortable.
But I think what distinguishes saying is it shouldn't affect you in the way of, or it's not that, because you can't tell somebody what will and will not affect them, but it's harder to, I guess, understand it affecting you since it was something that was in the past.
No, I'm talking about from the person. Is it going to break up my marriage? Hell fucking no.
Right.
But is it going to linger in the back of my mind? Hell fucking yes.
Well, especially if it's something that you thought somebody was a certain type of way originally, and then you find out something new.
Exactly.
But if you were dating a girl and she told you that,
no, then at that point, I'm in it to win it, my nigga. I'm here to fucking slay and lay. But at that point, if I find out now we're years in, and one finding is just like, yeah, I tried it back in the day.
And you liked it.
I'll have been like...
That does shift your idea of that individual because it was something that wasn't brought up previously. I can understand that.
Me personally, it wouldn't affect me.
I respect that.
Me personally, I don't care if we was dating or we married now. I really personally wouldn't care.
I mean, I hear that, but just the reality of finding out a side of somebody that you didn't know existed, to me, I'm stuck on drugs. But to me, that's similar to even finding out my cousin is a drug dealer out of nowhere, and it's like, wait, I didn't know you was even in that lifestyle.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna also say too, the reality is, nigga, married or not, everybody keeps secrets.
That's a fact.
Everybody got secrets. So if you didn't want, quote unquote, this person to know, it ain't, quote unquote, withholding information, nigga. You have a secret that you don't feel like, one, the person ain't gonna handle, or two, you just know it's just gonna make shit go left.
But also,
if your girl comes and tell you, yo, I cheated on you a few years back, are you gonna stick with the fact that she's not gonna cheat on you again? Is it still gonna linger in your mind that you will possibly cheat again?
No, I feel like if she did it, she always wanted to do it. I can't get mad at that. And for me personally, my nigga, it ain't gonna linger in the background. I'm gonna just be like, oh damn. A piece of me might be like, damn, I never would have thought. Me personally, but then the other piece of me gonna be like, nigga, I can't even be mad. Shit, I actually might ask her, did she fucking like it? Was it worth it? That's me personally. I'm gonna take it to that extreme because I'm not gonna let it affect me the way that most niggas will let it affect them. First of all, we live in a world too where even if that shit was to happen, you got niggas going to jail over that stupid shit. Niggas is getting tight because of the shit that happened in the past, and now we going to jail for the news that you heard in the present. Fuck the nigga, that shit was 3 years or 5 years ago. I'm not gonna go to jail now because I'm tight because of some shit you telling me that happened 3 years ago while we was together.
I mean, the only thing I can say to that is I can definitely, the shifting of perception of somebody definitely is a thing.
Yeah.
So like, if you've known your girl to be this, I never would cheat, I would never do that, and all this time y'all was together, you never suspected it, and then one day she's just like, babe, sit down, I just wanted to let you know that 4 months ago I cheated on you. That will change your perspective of somebody. That will be a little bit of a shock. Not so much that the information of her cheating is bothering you, but the idea that, yo, I never saw you that way, and now you're bringing, because I dated girls that from the back, I knew they dated girls before, they've had sex with girls, and it didn't bother me because I knew that information was right there in my face.
Right.
Now there's certain girls that I dated that if they told me today, yeah, I had a certain experience, it would kind of make me be like, oh, word? And it's not that I'm not cool with them having the experience, but if I never had my mind shifted that was what they were about, it would definitely change my idea a little. Not change my idea, but it would be a shocker. That's basically, it would be a shocker, but I wouldn't care that they did it. Obviously, I don't care about anybody's sexuality. It is what it is for you, and I respect all of that.
I feel like you can know somebody though for 10, 15 years, bro, and you still not know that person. So
absolutely,
you being shocked to new information, you taking it as you being privy to it. This is new to you. They looking at it like it's old to them because it's some shit that they was holding on to, and they finally, after 5 years, for lack of better terms, they're gonna Me Too your shit now. They're gonna say, all right, this is shit that happened before you, but I need to tell you now because I feel like it's the perfect time to tell you.
And that's cool, but you can't then get mad at me for reacting however I react.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah. Nobody can.
Because I may be like, oh, that shit ain't nothing.
Right.
Right. Or if I might be like,
I can't trust you no more.
That
It all
too.
depends on your mentality towards it.
I mean, and speaking on mentality, I would say it also determines how internalized or how in sync you are with that person. Because if you're with somebody that you're married to and you've been with them for X amount of years, and they say, yeah, 5 years ago, I cheated on with your best friend, nigga, you have to now tell yourself, am I gonna let this shit that happened 5 years ago?
Wait, hold the fuck on. Hold the fuck on.
Shit happened, my nigga.
I'm talking to my wife right now. My wife dare come tell me she cheated on me with one of y'all niggas 5 years ago. I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna fuck you up.
Nigga,
I'm telling you right now.
My nigga, and I hear you. I'm not saying don't do that, but at the same time, nigga, what I'm saying is we gotta really put information that we hearing that happened years ago. If we're hearing it in the present, we gotta put it on the scale. We gotta say, is this shit worth my 20 fucking years that I built? Is this shit worth, is one nigga's fucking dick in my wife's, I'm just being honest, is one nigga dick in my vagina, my wife's vagina, gonna fuck up what I was building for 20 something years?
You know your wife would break up with you, I think. That's what's funny, because us niggas are forced to like be like, nah, we wanna rationalize shit out of this. You go tell your girl, yo, 5 years ago, I fucked your homie. She will scratch the shit out you, my nigga.
She might.
She will fuck you up.
I have a different temperament when it comes to that because I'm the type of person where if the love outweighed this nigga ex fucking you, son, that's still my nigga. I'm just saying, like, if the love that we had for 20 X amount of years is gonna be fucked up because my best friend fucked you, that nigga was never my best friend and I never really loved you. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. I'm not gonna end the podcast because X did some shit with one of my, nah, fuck that, nigga. We got some more shit to talk about now. Now we got some more shit. Now we got some more content to talk about. That's how I look at it.
We're gonna have to fight. We could be
Nigga,
friends after the fight.
Nigga, we're gonna have to fight, but that's still gonna be my
We're
mans.
gonna be friends after the fight.
Yeah, that's gonna be my nigga.
You gotta get the one too.
Yeah, I'm gonna let a girl break up the friendship.
I mean, I've literally been in that situation.
Come on, son.
Not with a wife or nothing like that, but I've been in a situation where I found out my nigga was fucking a girl that I liked.
Oh, yeah.
And
shit, okay. Just hit me. Well, it wasn't me, nigga. Shit. I don't get down like that.
So, like,
Dead ass.
I can tell you the array. Fuck it, we here, right?
Nigga, we right here.
I can tell you the array of emotions that I felt.
Yeah.
This episode lit.
Yeah.
Don't get into it at this point.
That's what it was. Take the jacket off, man. It's comfortable. D-Flow, keep the weight on. Yeah. Keep the weight on. Yeah. Keep the weight on.
Stupid. So, like,
you are.
I can tell you the initial, when I originally found out, the initial thing was just like, part of it is not my business.
Okay.
Cause all right, so let's clarify. It wasn't my girl,
right?
But it was a girl that everybody knew I was feeling.
The person, right?
And the person was definitely showing signs that they was feeling me. But that's a whole nother story.
It's a whole nother thing. Yeah.
But so the first thing was like, you know what, yo, just try to brush this off because it ain't none of your business, like.
Right.
And I was able to do that, but at the same time, I definitely felt like a anxiety of like, yo, what the fuck? Like, is this true? Like, this is crazy. The thing that got me, so the array of emotions was definitely like anger. It was definitely confusion. It was definitely like, yo, why? What the fuck? And then when I finally got to the root of it, though, a lot of it just came from the fact of why didn't y'all niggas just tell me?
Right.
So a lot of it came down to just like, I probably would have felt some of these emotions anyway.
Yeah.
But if y'all niggas would have been upfront and I didn't find it out on some secret tip shit, we could have had a different conversation because anger, I don't think, would have been as prevalent. The anger, I think, was associated with the confusion of the fact of like, yo, you my mans and we really cool. So why would you have to hide this situation from me? And then on the flip side of it is like, yo, shorty, we mad cool, regardless of whatever feelings may have or have not existed, we're mad cool, so you could have kept it a buck with me. Neither one of y'all niggas kept it a buck with me.
Right.
So with that, that's where the anger came from. I think anger would have been removed if I knew ahead of time.
Right.
So I just think that like there's certain other emotional elements that get attached to when a secret is revealed that you don't expect, and that was a lot of it. Was I would have never guessed.
Right.
From that situation. Although there were signs there, I definitely saw shit ahead of time, but I was like, nah. One, he know what's up.
He know what's up. We both conjured that opinion.
He know what's up, so he wouldn't do that. And then on the flip side, it was like, and there was other situations that played a factor. It was like, he's not gonna do that. And then on the other side, I was like, and I don't see this person to do that based on what situations were prevalent. So why would you jump into a situation like that? Okay, and when the reality hit, it was just like, oh, maybe I don't know either one of them.
Right.
Which is crazy.
Right.
Because that does shatter the friendship.
Sometimes you don't know a nigga until a nigga do some shit you quote unquote wasn't expecting. And then you really gonna be like, oh, this is who the fuck you always been, my nigga.
This is the reality of it.
And that does shake the friendship a little bit. I'm not gonna hold you. Like I definitely was like,
got to.
I don't know if I fuck with either one of y'all no more. Like because why y'all keeping the secret, and then a secret like that, and then it's like, but y'all both also knew what was up. So like I would have respected it more if y'all would have came to me. I may not have been as comfortable with like, oh, nah, that's cool, do whatever.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I would have had to respect it because it's not my business.
Right.
But the secret part of it really just that was the part that fucked me up the most. So I kind of see where you coming from, where it's like, does sex outweigh the friendship you built with somebody? But I definitely see the flip side where it's like certain things will shock your system when you just like, you might look at someone that was your nigga for 10 years and be like, damn, did I really not know you? Like, I thought I did.
Yeah, my nigga. I mean, at the end of the day, your situation is a bit more, it's tailored and cut different. D-Flow shit, nigga, it's a no-brainer. Niggas shouldn't even have the inclination or the slightest thought or the idea. Damn, we could probably really fuck up D-Flow whole marriage. Why the fuck would niggas even have that slight inclination? If a nigga think he could do that, that nigga was never D-Flow's man.
That's a big
jump. Like,
and
that nigga might have to.
Talk to me,
right, and that nigga might have to go.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Might have to
I have to go. I'm not even going.
Would it break up my marriage? I don't know.
And that part, I would hope to God that it doesn't. But at the same time, that nigga gotta
that nigga gotta go, and I can't trust her anymore.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, that's the hard part. Yeah.
Because it's like, were you really my man, or are you not my man anymore? Like,
right.
It's easy to have that hard line, but depending on the shit you've been through with that nigga, it could be like,
yo, bro, like we been to hell and back. But my nigga, my wife though.
Well, yeah, like
we got it. A fight has to happen. So we didn't duke it out.
Why would you do that?
So we can go to the next. Cause I know we got other shit. I know D-Flow got to break out. Nigga, that whole situation, if we take the sex out, is basically Jamie St. Patrick and Tommy Egan. Look what the fuck is happening in their friendship. Niggas is actually getting killed.
Yeah.
And this shit is past forgiving. It's like, nigga, somebody gotta go. One of us gotta go. Cause too many niggas done that we cared about.
Facts.
So
sketchy, boy.
Speaking on lying on dicks and fucking, let's just stick on the topic of sex. I don't know the original interview, so I don't know if either one of y'all are more knowledgeable, but this whole Gucci Man versus The Breakfast Club versus Angela Yee type shit.
I saw part of his interview with Nick. Was it with Nick? Yeah, I think it was with Nick.
Charlemagne.
Charlemagne, my bad, it was Charlemagne. I saw part of that interview, and he was just like, why is she fronting and da-da-da-da-da.
What's the situation?
So that's what I'm trying to get to the root of. What I believe the situation is Gucci put up a post not too long ago on IG talking about he's banned from The Breakfast Club because Angela Yee was lying, saying that
he didn't smash.
That lying, saying that he was feeding for her, and he was like, "No, bitch, you wanted me to smash."
I remember that fucking interview. I definitely.
He said it when he was up there.
Yeah, I think I listened to it.
So what happened in that interview?
Honestly, bro, I feel like to me it felt like it was a lot of sexual innuendos.
Okay.
Because Gucci Man And I think this is around the time where this is Gucci Mane present day, like not fat Gucci. This is Gucci. You know, basically they was like interview flirting around the table, and he was like, you know you want me, man, and you know he's saying this right. She's like, I mean you look good and all, but I feel like to me, Angela be fronting when it comes to sex and dick questions on that show. Charlamagne will always give her curveballs, and she'll be playing it off. Even shit about her man, she'll be downplaying shit like, bitch, we know you're not even fucking your man like that, but you say you got a man. So then you make a niggas think you don't have a man. So then you make a niggas think that you probably fuck around on the low, but you just don't say nothing. Because you act like you this low-key ass person, but you don't come off that way sometimes. I mean,
on lip service, she be talking mad.
She be talking spicy.
Well, it's funny because I was listening to this show on YouTube, and they were saying how the original episodes of Lip Service, she used to say what nasty shit she would do. And like she mentioned one time, according to this source, that she ate ass before.
Whose ass?
Some nigga ass.
Oh, she ate a man's ass.
Yeah. So now on Lip Service, what he's saying is like, if you notice on a new Lip Service, she don't really say much about what she's doing.
She don't. Her friends.
Everybody else say the same.
Her friends be some friends are spicy, nigga.
So I do think that she has like this persona of like trying to make it seem like she ain't trying to put her sexual business out. Because I think she sees a different future for her. She trying to be the next Oprah or down that path.
Nigga, I'm giving her 3 more years on the Breakfast Club, nigga.
Shit, if that for all 3 of them, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
because I see Charlamagne out within the next year or 2.
Well, nigga, we know that he got the HBO that didn't even drop yet. That show didn't premiere yet on HBO.
Yeah, I don't know.
That shit that he was working on.
That's suspect that it didn't drop yet.
Yeah, it didn't drop yet, but we know it's coming. And that check is fat as fuck.
But
I mean, he might keep it though, like Ryan Seacrest. He might just stay on the low and just keep his day job.
Yeah, keep his
that's what he's trying to do, I think.
American Idol situation going.
Ryan Seacrest got 100 different deals.
Yes, he does.
That Breakfast Club check probably is very lucrative within the next.
No, it is.
The next contract negotiations, they probably talking millions. I don't know if they're at the million mark for each one of them.
Right. Yeah.
But the next one,
you talking about like $1 million a year.
Each of them getting $1 million plus.
Yeah, of course, because Envy has stake in that company, so Envy's good.
By the next year, they definitely talking millions, like 2.5 each or something like that. So I feel like they might try to keep that. Right. Charlamagne is definitely doing other shows. Yeah, obviously.
I couldn't watch a day show with Angela Yee though. I could probably only stomach a day show for Charlamagne. I would watch his shit. I don't
think he wants a day show though. I think Charlamagne is good with Breakfast Club. I don't think none of them will leave right now. Now that I really think about it.
Well, no, I'm talking about like longevity, like what she said. Because if she's trying to go to Oprah route, nigga, what do we really watch? Unless she establishes a brand new brand for herself. I'm not watching Lip Service like that. I don't watch it like that.
I don't think neither of them could survive on their own.
Besides Charlamagne.
No, besides DJ Envy.
Charlamagne has too many. He's proven it time and time again already.
He has multiple streams.
MTV2 shows that he had. Even
his book deals.
Brilliant Idiot.
Right.
Well, he's always tag team. Maybe if he finds another good host to run with.
But he has the new shit now that he's doing with these YouTube shows where he's going and interviewing people on his own.
Right.
That's how the Gucci Mane shit.
And then every year, I'm pretty sure he's gonna do it again, which we hope he does with Joe Budden. The wrap up, which is a great for both of them because their personalities are like, you know what I mean? So,
I can see him and Joe Budden doing a show.
I can see him and Joe Budden definitely doing a show together.
That would probably blow up.
That would be
honestly.
That would be huge.
That would be retarded. Joe would be like, yo, I'm good off the podcast. We starting a whole new thing with y'all.
I don't think he'll give that up either though.
No.
Too much streams of income.
I'm not saying giving it up. I'm saying he's just gonna devote, like that's gonna be his new baby.
Yeah.
Charlamagne, like, yo, we doing this together.
But I do think Gucci kind of corny though to be like, if you did fuck her or if she wasn't in your DMs, that's private shit.
That is private.
I don't really think that you need to be doing that.
Gucci got a crazy wife too. This nigga wildin', bro. That nigga wife is crazy.
So they were saying on Joe Budden shit though that Charlamagne interviewing Gucci on his own is kind of like is spitting in the face of the Breakfast Club because Angela Yee and DJ Envy are basically saying he's not banned. Gucci's not banned from the Breakfast Club, but the thing is, Angela Yee is a little uncomfortable because of whatever allegations he was throwing up on the show when he was up there.
We don't even know if it's true now. It could be true, but she's saying it's allegations.
Allegations meaning it could be true or not,
right.
But the nigga saying whatever sexual shit that they might have done or didn't do, she's uncomfortable probably knowing that he can come up and expose some shit that she don't want to expose.
True. Okay. No, facts. I mean, at the end of the day, she has to understand too that as much times as they want to put niggas in the hot seat on that fucking show,
You want to be on the hot seat?
nigga, Charlamagne was on the hot seat with, I don't know if you guys saw the Tamron interview. Tamron, last week, Charlamagne was on her show.
Tamron Hall?
Yeah, and Tamron Hall goes, so how does it feel to be in a hot seat? And Charlamagne said it actually feels good because the seat ain't hot. So the nigga got a sense of humor, but he also know, bitch, this ain't my show. So you have full authority over however this interview gets tailored. I only have control over what I say. I don't have control over the questions you ask. Angela Yee, to me, is scared of the speculation or the particular eye that will now be on her if we hear some shit
I
down the
don't
line.
think she wants to be known as that
She
doesn't.
She wants that. She don't want that rapper
But
energy.
Every girl got a pass. Like,
She had to fuck a few niggas.
She had to fuck a few niggas. Probably not rappers, but maybe this nigga.
Listen, the Shade 45 days, we all know was probably a wild time.
It was a wild time because it ain't the same as Shade 45. She was an intern there.
So,
you single, bro. You around you female. You single. You around all these rap stars.
You were a single 19-year-old intern because I think she was like 19, 20 at that time. Single 19-year-old intern, and you quote unquote have the exotic look. A lot of them was trying to slide up in there.
And they probably did slide in.
And yeah, I don't know if you said
one nigga get through, so it's gonna be some small.
You slide on all your
nights. She saw. That's just the reality.
That's what the reality is.
So I mean, but I understand it though. Again, that is private information. So like if I knew there was a shorty that I didn't want to come on the show and she was just gonna say every sexual shit that we did. And I'm like, alright, my nigga, you ain't up here for that. We up here because you said you a rapper now and you trying to promote your next project, but now you sitting here talking about, oh yeah, me and X did da-da-da-da, and it was like, my nigga, like...
Nigga, that shit happened to me, nigga. And I didn't even do nothing.
Wait, when that
you remember when what's her name was here? She was talking about the whole DM situation. I'm just like, oh, you're wild.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, you're a butt. Like, okay, I can't even
go in damn.
That was wild.
So, but yeah, like imagine that was tenfold.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm like, yeah, my nigga, like, your dick is this size.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
You come like this.
Right. I was like, yo, D-Flow, cut that shit over, my nigga. That interview's over.
So, but they were saying, do you think Charlamagne was wrong for taking that interview on his own?
No, because Charlamagne has taken that. Nigga, Charlamagne interviewed Kanye West for like an hour and 30 minutes.
They saying because I guess if you and Flo don't fuck with a nigga and I'm like, nah, so I'm gonna go interview him on my own.
I don't give a fuck. Me personally.
I wouldn't really care either.
I really, nigga, go get that, and nigga, you gonna get that nigga to say some shit that we wanted him to say on the podcast. Fuck that.
That's money in your pocket.
That's what I'm saying. How we gonna stop your bread, nigga?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I'd be upset either.
Yeah.
For an interview now.
For interview, no.
No. Be upset for interview.
For interview, no.
Nah, cause if I know that, yo, you don't got no beef with him, but I don't really fuck with him, and you like, well, I'm gonna go do this interview because
especially if I'm still cool with the nigga. You don't want to bring the nigga up here because you're not comfortable with him, but me and this nigga still cool enough that I could get an interview with him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the interview.
Nigga, let's just get the content.
I'm gonna let you know.
I mean, I feel like we dealt with that with...
I was just about to say, we definitely dealt with that.
With music.
Yeah.
Like when we had the team.
Yeah, we dealt with that, and we dealt with it internally. We ain't do no wacky shit. We ain't never have an interview where we said some wild shit either, nigga.
Yeah.
It's copacetic, nigga. And then at the end of it, if we felt some type of way, nigga, we just address it right then and there.
That's how it goes.
Just move the fuck on.
So Riri ended up at Drake's private party.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out, how that happened. Who's Drake, son? Like, look, really? Who's outside of the music, outside of the grass, who is this nigga?
I'm telling you, Drake is nothing.
He's a different nigga, son.
He's the suave, nice nigga.
But how does he keep doing it, bro? This
Because
nigga keeps winning.
The suave, nice nigga can penetrate any girl, bro. I'm letting you know that.
Bro.
Through any of the defenses, if you fucked up with a bitch,
right.
You the suave, nice nigga, you can get her back.
Rihanna is with a billionaire nigga. Drake probably gonna beat it in the next 2-3 years, who knows? But this nigga fucked up countless times. Chris Brown didn't even get this type of love. And this nigga Drizzy over here,
the difference is Drake ain't over there being petty Betty.
True.
You feel me?
Yeah,
Drake was like, yo, if you want to pass through him here.
Yeah, Drake, yeah.
And supposedly he ordered Riri and her crew McDonald's. I guess that's one of her favorite shits. I don't know.
And he was like, yeah, I already know that, Riri likes, you know what I mean, McDonald's. So
I think that's
definitely
one of the
number
biggest.
two.
I definitely gave. I was about to say.
If you don't fuck with me, but every time you're around with me, it's all love. Then
you never really stop fucking with me.
This nigga knows. This nigga knows the best.
Yeah.
They always loop back around.
Yeah.
They go on their little spurts and they find their way back around.
So I guess that's the question. Have you ever had a situation with someone with a shorty you was fucking with and you did some shit, she said fuck you, dipped off, and then came back around? Like, how did you keep that situation alive? Like,
I could definitely speak for me because I'm cool. I want to say on percentage, probably cool with 90. I would say a good 95% of my exes.
yeah, I would say 90-95%.
And when I say a 95, I'm talking there's definitely an ex I could probably hit up right now. And I've definitely done business with one of my exes in Atlanta recently. Nothing happened sexually. Niggas was there. Niggas did what we had to do. Niggas was happy. Niggas was like, yo, can't wait to do business with you again. I was like, that's what the fuck it is.
So what are the elements that keep that relationship so that it's not...
What I had to stop doing, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I had to stop sending her sexual innuendos. That's what I had to stop doing. And then what I noticed, once I stopped doing that, I figured to myself, all right, cool. If me and my ex can't be together, but we still, quote unquote, if I still want to keep her contact, or I still want to be cool with her, or I still want to, help her out with whatever situation she may have going on that doesn't involve me having to give her money, then what exactly do I want to, how exactly do I want to still stay attached to her? I know that she's into entertainment just like me. I know that motherfucker love money since day one. How the fuck can we get money together? So then I proposed that conversation, and that's how me and her been ever since the breakup. And it's been amazing. No issues. That's what I had to stop doing, and then that's what I started to do. And then I got other exes where we probably may never get back together, but if there's God forbid, a death in the family, I'm popping up to the funeral. I'll make a phone call to check in every once in a while. That don't mean I'm trying to get back with you. That's because I just still got love for you. So I'm going to still be a gentleman in that sense. I'm going to acknowledge that, a situation happened, and I'm here for you. Let me know if there's anything that you need. That does not mean it has to involve sex or no situation. It could just mean every once in a while you just vent to me and cry, like, oh, I miss this about, this person that died. And then that's it. That's what I do. And that's what I've been doing.
I say for me, is real. I kind of agree with what you said in terms of sexual innuendos, but more so in the sense of you have to acknowledge that, especially if they're the party that was upset, you have to acknowledge that they have to deal with whatever emotional state that they're in, and let them make the decision to come back to you.
Okay.
You can't force the issue. You can't be on them, so you can't text them certain things.
Nah.
You can't, you just have to be like, I respect your decision, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know, I'm just a cool nigga. Even if you did some shit you wasn't supposed to do, I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. I'm gonna live my life, and I'm gonna learn my lesson from whatever the situation was. I'm not gonna do no petty betty shit. You're not gonna find your shit on Instagram. You're not gonna find your name in the podcast. You might find the story.
Yeah, you might definitely will find the story.
But you're not gonna find your name. I'm not gonna have you pinpointed out like that.
I'm not gonna do that to you.
But at the end of the day, I'm gonna keep it copacetic. If you still, you still need some shit, I'm there. Yeah. You may not get the same loyalty that you got from me. That's the difference. You gonna have to build that back. You have to earn that back.
Yeah, because D-Flow, me and D-Flow be having outside convos. We ain't gonna give it all away. Them shits is special to me. But D-Flow know that there's definitely a woman out there I told him about years ago. And I was like, yo, I fucked up with this chick bad, da-da-da-da-da. And to this day, we may not talk all the time, but if she does reach out, we have a regular conversation, that's it. That chick is in a relationship now that it looks like she about to get married to the nigga. That chick still got love for Distinguished. A like every once in a while, a comment in the inbox, hit a nigga up to see how I'm doing. I'm like, wow. And I fucked her over. And that chick still keeps the link. She's the one that opened the door back.
So the question I guess...
I didn't do anything. And Flu know that.
The question I guess with that is, do you feel like when those gestures are given, or when that door is opened up again in terms of yo, we can have a positive communication, does that also mean you think you could still fuck if you wanted to?
Me personally, that particular individual that I'm talking about, no. I know I that part I know I can't do that. Me personally, I know I can't do it. If it was another individual, like let's say she was different type of
What's
girl.
the percentage? So if we was to say like the doors are open, what percentage do you think you can still fuck versus which ones is like nah, it's over?
0% for me, personally. With that one that I'm talking about,
I'm talking about in totality. Of all the girls that you might have, like y'all fucked around, it didn't work out, but y'all now in communication. Of all of them, what's the percentage that you can versus the ones you can't?
Honestly, damn. Okay, so if I'm really thinking now, for me, there's definitely a strong 80-85%. Right this second, my life right now. I could probably pick the phone up, make a phone call, and they will Uber. Because they've done it before. They'll even bring food if I say, yo, bring food. And if I ask them for bread, they'll definitely give me money.
I'm interested.
I have a lot of those.
I'm interested to know what that element, what is the element there that allows that to still be present? Because I agree.
I don't know.
With me,
I don't know what that element
is. It's probably kind of similar. Like I could probably, a lot of I guess situations that, but a lot of my situations ended with the other person doing some dumb shit. So I think that plays a factor.
Yeah, your situation is very different from mine.
Because when they do some dumb shit, I think they start to feel like, damn, I missed out. So if he's cool with me, maybe I can get something that I know was good for me that I, let pass me by. Because he's still cool, so maybe I could weasel my way back in to being to what we were.
Right.
So I think that's maybe the foundation on my end. It's really interesting on your end that you say you fucked up.
Right.
And then figured it out with that person. Right. And then that person still might want to
hop
on the dick.
For me, that's a great question. I don't know what the element is in between that makes that shit, quote unquote, make sense for the situation. If I say come through and they just come through, or they come through and they bring food, or they come through, bring food, and it's like, do you need money? I don't know what that element is for me personally, but what I can say is that in my short existence on this earth, in the flesh, there's a lot of women that probably will never fuck with me again, but they will support a ticket for a show. They will repost my flyer. They will tell people about the show because it has already happened and it's still happening today. And look how long we've been friends. Look how long we've been doing. Look how long y'all niggas know me for doing shows. They still may pop up. And I may never even say, damn, they popped up. Or they may come through and be like, hey, I'm only going to be here for a few minutes. I've had a chick that I didn't necessarily fuck up with, but she definitely came to one of the bars and the barbershops earlier this year and was like, even though, I'm the one who called it off, which she did, she was like, yo, I'm going to still support you when I can. And she definitely has spent her money, drove all the way from Far Rock to the Bronx, and was like, what up, I'm here. I'm like, damn, you a real? I'm like, you a real one.
So in line with that, Lamar Odom was doing some interview, and he stated that he fucked up with Taraji P. Henson because he left her for Khloe Kardashian.
Wait, what?
Apparently he was, I guess, still dating. I don't know if they were in an official relationship or not, but he was dating, and while he was dating her, I guess he met Khloe and decided to get with Khloe. I guess there wasn't no real closure between him and Taraji P. Henson. But I guess the question that stems from that is really more on in line with, have you ever had a situation where you fucked up with a girl and then she glowed up right in your face?
Yeah, nigga, the situation I just told you with the chick that her name will forever be disclosed.
How did that? I don't know if I experienced that. What does that make you feel like?
That bitch blow up is real right now, bro. I be on the gram like, yo, what the fuck? I be like, yo, Henry, what the fuck, bro? Like, nigga, I just be like, damn, son, that nigga got shit that I could have built the fuck up to where she's at now, because she was already built. She was already doing what the fuck she got to do. I'm looking now, I'm like, damn, son, and I know that nigga not fucking up. I know he not fucking up, son. And that nigga Jamaican, he definitely.
I thought you said he not fucking her like you fucked her.
Oh nah, nigga, I fucked her and we almost got arrested. Yeah, we did some shit out there. He not fucking her like I was fucking her. I was doing wild shit. We We was wilding out.
Fucking
Yeah.
kids.
We was wilding. Yeah.
I don't know.
Aren't you?
I'm trying to think of a show. I mean, I have one ex that's like definitely doing better than me right now that I could think of off the top of my head. And I'm trying to think.
There's not much. Don't think too hard.
There aren't many.
Yeah.
No, there aren't many doing better
We
than me.
only know one that's really on her shit. Congrats. More power to you, my black sister.
Big
Yeah,
facts, boy.
Everybody else though, don't give them no pass.
Nah,
they know they're not doing
They
better.
definitely. They not.
Them niggas is negative. That
They
fuck
not
you talking
this.
about, bro?
But I mean, for me, I don't know. I'm kind of elated when I see them doing well. So it's not like I see them glow up and I'm like, damn.
Nigga, I be like, damn sometimes.
The only time I'm like, damn, if I feel like they were a corny nigga. To be honest.
That nigga dresses like me.
The
That
nigga.
nigga swag is on a whole nother level. I'm like,
If you with a cool nigga, I'm like, alright. If you with a nigga where I'm like, dead ass, that's what you. That I'm kind of tight.
that nigga's my skin complexion. That nigga's Jamaican. That nigga is taller than me. That nigga got a whip. That's better than my shit. That nigga got hit. That nigga look like he got his shit together. Every time I see them, niggas is going to balls, fucking pop-up dinners, boxing. I'm like, I got you into the boxing shit. That's me.
That nigga
That's
sound
my
like
DNA.
Sound like a little bit of salty.
that sound like a version 2.0, Terminator 2.0.
Jaded, nigga. Jaded. Those on this side, those over on this side.
So I think we finally realized how Ray J got out that Fabulous situation.
Really?
Yeah, I think we got the answer to
What
that.
happened?
This nigga Suge Knight gave the rights to Ray J for his, I guess, movies, his life rights or some shit like that. So Ray J is the only one that can write his movie or produce his movie or whatever. So in my mind, that tells me.
Wait. What? Ray J?
Ray J.
Whoa.
Apparently they had a long-standing relationship.
Please tell me the story.
But that tells me
What did
that
Ray J
when
do?
Ray J and Fab was beefing, because I was like, yo, Fab gonna get this nigga killed. That's all I kept thinking when they was beefing.
Well, Ray J kept saying he good in these streets.
Exactly. So
He
now
kept
we
saying
know
it,
what
bro.
this nigga is
But
great.
now I'm good out here, bro.
Right.
Don't worry
But I
about it.
have a question. What's Ray J's and Suge Knight's of? Those are two different extremes.
I have
Suge
no
Knight
idea.
is a whole nother extreme. We
You don't
know.
know who these people know, son. These niggas, they could have been mutual friends. They could have did business together.
Yo, you really don't know who niggas is really cool with
No,
until some shit happened and the nigga is telling you, a Ray J nigga telling us, oh nigga, I'm good in these streets. Don't worry about me, nigga. Remember, I hit it first. This nigga
I
Ray
guess
J
that's why
probably-
Ray J can talk
He
crazy.
talks wild in
Because
these
apparently he
streets.
said something to Bobby Brown about fucking his wife too.
Yes, nigga. Yes.
So you talking spicy? Like he made a whole song about fucking a nigga wife, bro.
Yeah, yes, he did. And he said, if the bitch would come back to me, I would make another movie. What nigga say shit like that on records? And it's cool. It's like,
Clearly,
nigga, you are a different
clearly
nigga.
Suge Knight got the Knight's guard around this nigga, so he is cool in these streets.
But I need to know what the nature of their. I need to know if Ray J either, I'm not saying he got it, but I need to know if Ray J did some wild shit for Suge, and Suge was like, okay.
Suck some dick twice.
No, nah.
They did a good business.
Yeah,
That's what they said.
Probably
Suge-
some business happened, and Suge was like, damn, nigga, my return was exponential. Nigga, you good for life.
They saying that Suge really respects his business mind.
No, I feel like Ray J is a smart. Remember, Ray J and Brandy's managers were the parents. So they coming from a culture environment where they basically grew up in the industry. Brandy's first deal was 14, 15, so them niggas was young in the game. So
this little nigga's a hustler.
yeah. Because Ray J's, to this day, Ray J has
He's a hustler, boy.
Yeah.
He got mad business.
Ray J has no music out, but Ray J is a very successful business nigga.
That puts Ray J in a different light for me.
Yeah, for sure now. Because now that I know that, respect kind of just went up, but at the same time, damn, you just don't know who niggas
Because
are.
I'll be honest, I really didn't know how Ray J got out that fast.
Me neither, because I thought your family was this
I
nigga.
figured it was one way or another. I always figured that something happened where somebody. I mean, he kept saying it too. He was just like, "Nah, I'm good out in these streets."
I thought he was capping. To be honest, I thought I was like, nigga, you about to get your ass.
He didn't come to New York for a little bit. He wasn't capping. But he was for sure with them LA streets.
Yeah, he was cool, and I don't know, but that beef got squashed real quick and quiet.
It really did, yeah. It was on the radio for like a week and it was going.
And it was
week.
quiet.
It was quiet.
I was like,
You ain't hear no more, nothing.
yeah, because Fab even said it. Me and Ray J's cool.
And Fab left it alone though. That's
He did. He did leave it alone.
Fab ain't go like. I feel like Fab, if he wanted to, could have dragged that shit. He left that shit
But
alone.
at the end of the day, you realize either someone checked him and be like, "Yo, this nigga is straight."
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, sure?
Right.
That nigga is just make sure you.
Yeah, because
nigga either. So
what probably happened was Suge probably didn't even make the call to Fab. Somebody that's close to Suge and that's close to Fab, like, yo, listen, on some real shit, big bro. X, Y, and Z Suge. And Fab was like, word? He was like, yeah. And he was like, alright, cool. I'm gonna leave that little nigga alone. And that's it.
I think that's what happened. Someone called someone, and was just like, "Yo, we need you to leave him alone."
He was like, I say
I
that.
say that. He's just like, "Alright."
But if this
this nigga slip again,
Yeah,
right.
I'm just letting you know I'm gonna handle.
He definitely had to save face with the, but if it's
Yeah.
from you,
Yeah.
I'm gonna, if it's from you, I respect
I respect you enough to leave him alone.
But in the back of his body, he's like, sure.
Right. Yeah, Fab like, choose a.
F-A-B-O.
Right.
I'm gonna leave her alone up.
Right.
Like, D-Flow, what you thinking about this new fucking season of the NBA?
I haven't even watched the game.
I haven't watched one game yet. I haven't watched
I haven't seen a game yet, nigga?
No, but I'm hearing some shit. What's going on?
I heard Kyrie ran off last night.
Kyrie got 50 against, I forgot who the fuck he was. They was playing.
What's going on with our young boy in the Pelicans? I'm hearing bad news.
Oh,
Yeah.
Zion.
Yeah.
So they've been saying Zion is too heavy for.
Yeah, they were saying
his
that
style
way
of
before,
play.
yeah.
And apparently, I guess he did something and he ended up getting injured. He's gonna be out 6 to 8 weeks.
Damn.
To start the season. That's not a good look.
This
He's
young,
too heavy.
He's too heavy. He got too much weight. Apparently, it's putting too much pressure on his knees. So they're like, yo, he's gonna end up pulling something if he doesn't get lighter.
This young man's career has been tainted ever since that shit with the game. When he was in college, that game that he had in the sneaker
shoe?
blue. And niggas was coming at Nike, and Nike definitely was like, it's definitely not our fault, but we're gonna send this nigga a brand new box or whatever the
Nah,
fuck.
that definitely was Nike's fault. Their shoes shouldn't be blowing up.
Nigga, but he was playing them shoes every night. Think about it.
I mean,
they're telling him he's too heavy for that style of play in terms of constant movement.
Yeah, because he's heavy. He was heavier than when LeBron got in the league, and LeBron was a big nigga in the league. And LeBron,
How big is he?
I don't know.
he's 250 pounds. Zion, yeah.
How tall is he?
Zion is 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, he's kind of heavy for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's agile and he's fast as fuck. But
I mean, it's the jumping.
yeah, it's the jumping and the dunking. That's definitely what's killing that nigga.
You jumping with 250 and you got
Coming
high
down.
vertical.
Yeah.
So you probably.
Eventually,
They telling him like, yo, your shit gonna blow.
He wanted to go down to a
He-
220.
They're gonna have a field day on him because I definitely remember when that sneaker first blew. Remember, there was a lot of NBA niggas that went on Twitter. They dead said, "Yo, my nigga, stop playing ball. This shit is now coming back to haunt him." And I'm definitely sure somebody's telling him right now, "Bro, you out for 6 to 8 weeks. The media's about to go ham now because now they got some shit that happened." And Stephen A. Smith was one of the first niggas that said, "Yo, he needs to stop. He just needed just chill."
I don't think they telling him to stop playing ball. They just telling him he's too heavy for it.
Well, no, Stephen A. Smith didn't even care about the heavy part. He was just like, yo, if the knee injury happened already, nigga, who knows what's gonna happen when you get in the league? That's what I'm saying. That foreshadowing of talk is now back.
Yeah, I mean they keep.
It's unfortunate.
Unfortunately, the problem.
It's unfortunate.
I think the problem that they start to realize with Zion is he might be injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
He like when you look at LeBron is like indestructible. He's barely had any injuries through his entire career.
Yeah, this is true.
17 years, I think niggas been in the league or something like that.
Since 03.
15?
16 years.
16 years.
Damn, son.
So going into the 17th year.
Wow.
So like
That's
almost
remarkable.
17 years, barely any injury reports on
He's
him.
not missing work like that.
Zion, I guess they had those expectations,
Right.
but they started to see like, damn, this nigga getting injured
Too
pretty
much, right?
readily.
He's
So-
great, but his weight.
We had LA versus LA on the first day.
How was that? Who won actually?
Clippers beat Los Angeles. So
Bad?
Clippers beat Lakers.
it wasn't bad. It was I think maybe 10 points.
What could the Lakers have done better first game? What do you think?
It looks like chemistry, but everybody is now saying, oh, Kawhi is looking like the LeBron killer. Yeah, so
Kawhi is looking at the LeBron killer. It's gonna be a good season
It's
for
definitely
them.
gonna be a good season for them.
I mean, LeBron only had 18 points,
Mm.
and that's pretty low for him.
You know that's gonna be crazy trash talk.
He averages 26.
Yeah.
But a lot of niggas, of course, is like, oh, he's older. Is this his decline? I don't know
No,
about all of
nigga,
that.
decline, nigga. He about to turn up.
The nigga's 34.
What the fuck? They got mad game left.
Nigga's
Fuck
34,
talking
son.
about.
He
You
got
know
a
they
good
always
4 years left.
once you hit 30, they want to say your shit is over. So
Nigga, I'm about to hit 30 next year, nigga. My shit's just beginning.
well, in basketball,
Yeah, basketball,
you like
yeah,
45 if you 30. That's
But
how they like to treat
But I
niggas.
feel like when it comes to even any type of professional, any type of nigga that's good at what he does, I feel like there's something about that number 30 because how do you feel right now? 30. In your 30s, I should say. How do you personally feel?
I'm fine.
Do you feel like shit is over or shit is just beginning in your field?
But I'm not playing a physical sport, so that's I think the difference.
This
like,
is a sport right here though. It's not physical.
for sure, but they're talking about like a 19-year-old who just got in the
Oh,
league
yeah, that's different.
versus a
Yeah, his bones are younger.
35-year-old nigga,
Right.
36-year-old nigga,
Kawhi is Kawhi's like 20, 29, 20,
28, 29, I think.
He's not that. He's not
It's
that.
mad. There's not that
It
much
really
of a
is. It's not a
differential.
big gap. That's true.
But there is, but there isn't. In basketball knowledge, there is a bit of a road there that has to be traveled.
Right.
However, like I think that's the difference. In real life, you look at 30 and I go down as far as maybe like 23. And for me, it's like, yes, there's a difference, but there isn't a difference.
Right.
In basketball, they look at a 23-year-old versus a 28-year-old and they act like niggas is...
Yeah, it's about hang it up.
You about to die.
Yeah, hang it up.
So, alright, let's wrap this shit up. There was the Celtics versus the 76ers. Celtics look like, again, they look like they need chemistry too. It's a new look. And the Blazers versus the Nuggets. I think the fucking Nuggets won by 1 point or some shit like that.
They got about to scare their teeth. Okay.
Yeah, but they're both two good teams. So
Yeah, I'm not really gonna get into the NBA till like top of the new year. I never really stretch the top of the season. I always get into like right after the All-Star break. And that's when I really start watching, like paying attention.
Yeah, seeing like missing a game or two now don't really.
And but
it is exciting in the opener because everybody's mad excited that the season started up.
Yeah, and so this is the season. All the exhibition games are done.
Yeah,
all the scrimmages are finished.
Started, yeah.
So I got a question then. When did the NBA start doing? Because I feel like it's recent, or maybe it's not. When did the NBA start to regularly do games in China? Because now they're in this whole Chinese thing.
Yeah, that's within the last 5 years.
Right. Okay. Because anytime I hear even when I'm on the gram now and you'll type in China, you'll see shit that's happening in China. But the NBA is just associated with China
It's a
now.
new market too, though.
Well,
It's a whole new market.
Yo, they really go to those games though. Those Chinese people,
Bro, they got all their leagues just as big as the NBA, bro.
they be out there.
They drink gross bread, mad bread too. So.
Well, cause Nike's over there too. Yeah.
What's
A
up?
billion people, son. Like,
True. The arenas are bigger. They can see more niggas.
There's a lot of shit. I mean, with that, and
Nigga, we gotta go to China.
Yao Ming kind of gets opened that market up.
Yeah.
Because that made the American market interested in the Chinese market.
So, I told you.
And in the Chinese market was like, oh, people actually watching basketball.
And they like Yao Ming.
So, I mean, because there's other, when you have the Olympics and stuff like that, you see the other markets that are really interested in basketball. Right. But it looks like China is like a big one now because they're a superpower.
Right. Speaking about Olympics, shout out to Simone Biles. God fucking damn.
Yeah.
the baseball game?
No. The girl, Simone Biles.
I'm not at the baseball game when she was at the baseball
game. Yeah. And then before that, because they said she's the youngest Olympic gold medalist winner, and she has the most out of all women out of all time, like in history. And they just renamed the move that she did after her last name. It's called the Biles. So I was like,
oh, that's lit.
It's over for her. Yeah.
What's the tough knot, bro?
Tough knot, man. Yo, listen, man. Just because shit happened, don't mean that's the way it is, T-Flow. Alright? Just because shit go down, don't mean shit is really like that after it goes down. Shit could be up.
I hear you, bro.
Alright? That's
Listen, I hear you, man.
alright.
Whatever.
That's
I
a
don't
tough
even know
one.
what the fuck y'all
That's
doing.
a tough one.
Watch your boat.
That's a tough one. For the record, I've never sucked a man's dick, okay? Alright. It's just for the record. But if,
I hear you.
right, but if that nigga wanna suck my dick, I don't know.
Oh my god.
What would Dad say? Listen, Dad is gonna tell these niggas that at the joking steps.
Yo!
Y'all niggas about to get shot.
Yo.
Just cut it.
They gotta cut it out, son. Cut it out, son.
Yeah.
That shit's wild.
I don't know what's how to recover from that. But
yeah.
what would Dad say? Dad would say.
Those steps are deadly though.
Dad would say that although some secrets are necessary, some secrets also are attached to timing. And timing is the true power of secrets.
Big facts.
If you expose a secret at the wrong time, it will cause the wrong effect as opposed to the right timing. So the real power behind the secret is not so much, although it is in the secret itself, but it's also within the timing that secret is exposed. So with a lot of your secrets, you should be aware and you should want them to be exposed in a timing where you're in control as opposed to in a timing where you have no idea and you're not ready to either confront that or deal with the cleanup. So an example of that is letting somebody else expose your secret if it's a secret that you could have readily told whoever it is that you were hiding it from about it before it got exposed, in a time where now you're thrown off, that person's thrown off, and y'all both trying to figure out what the fuck is going on and you trying to do some cleanup. So timing is attached to secrets, and exposing something that someone doesn't know in a timing that you can control and an environment that you can control will be way better than y'all both being surprised at the same time. That's what that was saying. And we the fuck up out of here.
Yeah.
Peace.